Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. This is the Double Stuff Podcast, where we're double the hosts, double the topics, and double the fun, and I'm Sarah.
I'm Dan.
I am Alan Atha the Fourth.
Oh, very formal. And I'm Charity Harmon the First.
Oh, see, I should have done my middle name, and now I feel left out.
Nope, too late. You have to wait till next year. 2024.
You'll never know mine.
We'll do it next week, I guess. So, new year, new season. So we've made it.
Yeah.
We're over the hump. We're officially
New
in 2023.
chapter.
Yeah.
New
So
book.
yeah.
New page.
New tires on the car.
Oh, new tires
sure
on
you
my
balance
car.
it out.
Thanks, Alan.
I need to get some new tires.
Is that a mental note when you listen to this?
Tires
Oh,
are so expensive.
It's a New Year's gift from you to
That's
you.
right. That's right. Times 4.
Oh,
So rough.
oh man.
Anyway.
Why are we talking about the hardships of
yeah.
tires?
That adult.
Welcome to the Tire Cast, sponsored by Goodyear.
The tire cast.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I will retire. All right.
So I figure we usually do our double the host, double the topics, usual things. Within I know last year, back in 2022, we started incorporating 2 topics in one episode. So yeah, we've been really
doubling it up.
literally.
That's
well,
right.
I thought
So we're going to double it again. 4 topics. Episodes.
double the host.
It can only go for
For
so
the
long.
next 4 hours, you'll be with
The
us in the
doubling.
studio.
But I figure we haven't really. I figure our topics, we need to maybe add a bit of a weird, odd, generic challenge.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be interesting that all of our topics
Put
are
your
just.
hand in the bag. What do you feel?
I could go
It's
so many.
slimy.
I could go so many different ways. What I was going to say is that they're going to be one-word nouns.
Okay.
One word.
So it can be anything that's a noun.
Okay.
So I figure we'll just pick a couple of words that could be anything, and we'll try to make it. Since we're pretty good at making odd conversations out of the most random things, I figure we can try this.
Okay.
So we're going to pick 2 random words that are
Okay.
nouns. So the first topic we're going to talk about is Kleenex.
Okay.
I wanted to get like a boggle sound, like before you pick the word.
Oh,
Like
we
the- like
should. Oh, okay. We'll have to do that for.
can do it,
we'll
fix it in
do
post.
that. We'll do that next week's episode. Either that or Dan can be our boggle. Dan-
I'm a pro.
he's a pro boggler. So topic 1 is Kleenex. The second topic is shelves. So we're going to talk about Kleenex and shelves today, guys.
Okay.
Let's start out with something that Charity knows a lot about: Kleenex.
I know. I feel personally called out with this topic. We're just going to start the year off talking about my issues, but okay.
No, the issues with tissues. That's Charity.
Okay, so if we're talking about Kleenex, I always try to keep Kleenex on me, either in my pockets or my
brand?
I was
purse.
like, is it brand name or are you talking about generic facial tissues?
Anything you can blow your nose on. Now, I will say I do
A
prefer.
handkerchief.
Ew, gross. No, we're not even going off of that. I will say I do try to keep like good tissues because after a while you blow your nose so much that your nose is red.
Yeah.
Because there's a box of tissues at one of my other jobs, and the box says soft tissues, and it's a lie. It's like sandpaper on your
Yeah.
face, and I'm like, no, we need to not brand ourselves as that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
So you prefer the tissues that have a touch of lotion?
The aloe.
yes,
Aloe.
or okay, so
I do
the
too, yeah.
the actual Kleenex brand, I don't believe we're going down this rabbit hole. The actual Kleenex brand has a 10-pack of like the little box or little rectangular like pocket tissues, but those are like the good tissues, like those can hold many things. But it's like a big 10-pack, and they have them at Bed Bath & Beyond and Five Below. Those are the only 2 places where I can get the 10-pack. This is super boring, guys. But those are my favorite tissues, and I'm so embarrassed that I have a favorite set of tissues. But I always,
You're
There's
gonna need
nothing
them.
wrong with that.
I
Yeah,
always
you need
have them. But okay, so the reason why, obviously, so allergies, but like I have them all year round. I've sort of just decided that I'm allergic to life. I don't know. Either it's something I'm eating or drinking. I don't know. I've done all sorts of tests to figure out like what I'm allergic to, and like mold.
Have you taken the prick test?
Mold and dust are the ones that come
Yeah.
up to the top, but you can't get rid of dust because dust is everywhere in life. And then if there's mold, well, that takes like a whole cleaning crew to get that out. So otherwise, I don't know, my breathing changes like depending on where I am. And so I always have tissues with me, and I have a favorite brand of tissues.
You're in the wrong city too, because I guess
Yeah.
Wichita
Yes.
is really bad for
Well,
Yeah.
it's windy,
allergens.
it's dry.
Yeah.
But see, I didn't start having allergies until I turned about 26. And before that, I was kind of fine. I was just living my life as a happy-go-lucky person. All of a sudden, my nose is like, yeah, we're done.
Yep.
We're
It's fun
gonna-
getting old,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
She is getting better though. So
Yeah.
she's improved a lot.
I have improved. It was started off like super bad. Now it's just like a plateau. So
Now
hopefully
it's just manageable pain. Manageable pain.
that sounds
Manageable.
so
Pain.
depressing.
That's I don't know. Is it painful to blow your?
So
I guess
if
it
you
would.
blow
Is,
your
depending on how
nose,
many
yeah,
times
if
you
you
do
blow
it.
your nose so much that like you can't feel your face afterwards,
Yeah, because there's for cold, flu season, or even like bad allergies, there's a point where your sinuses get so inflamed that it's painful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So as a counter, we don't even keep facial tissue in our house.
Oh really?
Never.
I'm never
Like,
coming
you go
over to your
straight
house.
the toilet paper.
Exactly. So, which is
gotta
not great, but if we get a cold or something, we'll go out and buy like a one box, and then that's the only time that's ever in our house. And once that's gone, it's not until we get a
toilet
cold
paper
again.
from
Until
here on
it's
out.
toilet paper, paper towel, extra napkin
paper
from
towel.
Chipotle.
Okay, my car is full of napkins, and I'm so ashamed that like I might have my car insurance, but I've got a whole bunch of napkins
Yeah.
from about 6 different fast food restaurants.
Yep.
Chipotle, that's a little rough. I'm gonna go with Quick Trip.
Yeah, see, yeah,
I take whatever I can get.
you become a Kleenex snob. Like,
Oh,
Who's got
okay.
the best nap?
Jason's Deli has great napkins. It's true because they're long and like you can rip them in half and they're a good thickness.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Okay.
perfect.
This is the most embarrassing
You gotta roll
episode.
up to the drive-thru and just be like, I guess I'll take my food, and can I have a lot of car tissues? Please?
Yeah,
You
please.
just got your
Just
shipment.
a
Just
whole
give me the
handful.
crate. Just give me the crate of napkins.
I'm a very sloppy eater. I need that whole box of napkins, please. No, but
boy.
it's true. Like I've done the toilet paper, the paper towel, but it's so rough. Paper towels and all that kind of stuff. When I was a kid, I always had issues with congestion. Thankfully, it was opposite. Actually, when I got older, my sinuses got better.
Oh, that's not
because
fair.
because when I was from when I was born up until I was like elementary school, I was always congested.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, it was weird. I think once I hit my 20s, that was when my sinuses changed. So, yay, adulthood. That
Yeah.
cleaned out my sinuses a bit. But one of the things I do like using is the Kleenex boxes. We used to use those all the time for Valentine's Day. You would decorate it, right? And so that way people would not put Valentine cards in your box. But it would be nice to decorate. No, because as a class, you're supposed to write it for everybody. But sometimes I would have the Charlie Brown thing where you wouldn't get either as many
I got
cards.
A rock.
Yeah. That would have been weird if I did get a rock in a Kleenex box. Who knows? But
I
yeah.
will say that as I've gotten older, I've become more civilized because I would only use tissues around other people. Like if I ever needed to blow my nose, it was finger to the side of the nostril.
Yeah, there you
Oh my
go.
God!
Let it fly.
Are you-
Shot rocket.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Of course.
Oh my God!
Of course. I didn't do it around people,
No,
but
no,
yeah.
in your car? No, I'm just kidding. No, in your car.
No, when I'm outdoors.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Oh,
But yeah,
no.
you're in the summertime doing like outdoor labor or something like that. You don't have tissues.
that
so you
only
just-
works if it shoots out correctly. Otherwise, you
Oh,
have like
the first few
the hangy
times.
down stuff.
Yeah, the first few times there's some. It's not pretty, but over the years, it's just like anything. You get
perfected
better. You
the
get better.
blow, the finger on the nose blow.
Oh yeah, and you can get to the point where you can look around and see if you can hit it, and you can. It can be done.
Guy thing I've ever heard. You're
Oh,
like
Once again, I'm
aiming
in the
them.
opposite position where, like, if I don't have, like, if I'm like, at a movie theater or
Yeah.
something, right, and I don't have anything to like blow my nose into, I'll just like hold my nose and just bring it back in, just an internal sneeze, and
Do
just
you
like,
let your ears?
oh, it hurts. It hurts
Oh.
every time, and it hurts
What?
so much worse now that I'm older when I do it.
Oh,
It's
man.
like I'll like hold my nose, I'll like sneeze. You won't hear anything because I'm silent. I'm awesome like that. And then I'm just like on the ground in pain
Yeah,
for like
your
the next
ears
5
are-
minutes because everything just hurts
The
so
little
bad.
ninja sneezes. It's cute.
I'm pretty sure.
But
you're
at
not
least I didn't
supposed to do that.
sneeze.
See, for me, I will say I am. Maybe it's a Harmon thing or something, but I do I am a loud sneezer. I mean, I try to hold it in when I can.
I guarantee you are not as loud as me.
But
I let it all out.
But I also used to be a really hard sneezer because when I was in 7th grade, it was either 7th or 8th grade, and we used to get all kinds of homework in school. So I'm carrying this heavy backpack on my back, and I sneezed so hard that my spinal cord went out of joint.
Oh my, that's pretty hard.
Yeah, as soon as I sneezed, I felt a. And I couldn't stand up straight. I was walking like Groucho Marx for a week.
To be fair, that's not the fault of the sneeze. That's the fact that you had way too much homework in
I
your
did have
bag.
a lot of books in the backpack.
Yeah, that's a school homework backpack issue because the sneeze is probably just normal.
But I did have to go. But I had to go to the chiropractor for the first time to get me straightened out. But yeah. So like I don't know if after that I realized I shouldn't hold it in as much as what I should have to do that. But then I would rather
You learned your lesson.
But I don't want to be a
Don't do homework anymore.
Yeah,
Fail your classes and sneeze at home.
But I don't want to be a nostril pistol like you and start and just shoot stuff out like a savage.
No.
You gotta get a spittoon and then like try to hit it, you know?
This is disgusting. Why are we starting the year off like this?
See, good job, guys.
Yep.
It's so random. Well,
It
it's okay.
happens.
I figure if we're going to make something interesting, we'll do the most random things like Kleenex. But because everything works out a little bit better, maybe we'll have a better topic talking about shelves.
Okay.
Somehow I don't think so.
thing. Wait, before we move on to shelves,
You got another Kleenex anecdote?
I do have one complaint, which is for, and I'm sure I've never seen you do this, but I have seen Kleenex users do this, which is they blow their nose, they're sitting down in their chair comfortable, and so they will start a pile of tissue.
Oh, yes.
It's
and
pretty
it
gross.
stays there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Are we all in agreement
Yeah,
that
it's
gross.
that's not proper behavior?
So-
Okay.
No, it was
Yeah,
also
I-
germ filled. You
Yeah.
got all that.
Okay.
So in my purse, this is disgusting. I have a Ziploc baggie just for that purpose so
There
that
you
I
go.
don't do that. And then I throw everything away later.
There
so,
you go.
yes.
Okay. Just want to make
I
sure.
also find that disgusting.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm in trouble for that. Let's keep going.
Oh, you won't. No, this is how it goes, guys. We're just talking about piles and piles of Kleenex. But yeah, so let's see how our luck will change, shifting from tissues to shelves.
Oh, I love shelves.
Yeah. Oh, you would.
I
You
put stuff on shelves all
Yeah.
the time.
you do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you put your tissues on
They're my
shelves?
favorite something. When I need the dirty ones, I pile them up.
You
right
pile
on
them up,
shelf.
I have a dirty tissue shelf
right.
area.
And this is my collection.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a slide door and just all like avalanches out.
This
that's
one's
right.
from 6th grade.
That's
You know?
right. They're no longer tissues, they're specimens.
That's right.
This one's B162.
I put this one in formaldehyde.
And it's like an exhibit now. It's like
Yeah.
here we find
Yeah.
the Kleenex from 1995.
That's right.
Well, what I like, I know this sounds weird, but what I like about shelves, especially like bookshelves, I don't have a lot of room for this, but I like seeing pictures of like those really big like libraries from like 200 years ago. And you can see all of these, and they go as far as the eye can see. And it's just nothing but shelves and shelves of books. And it's a beautiful sight. It seems overwhelming because you have like millions of books, but I just like the arrangement. I don't know, is that an odd thing, I guess? I like the arrangement. I like how the picture shows all the different books. But like they have like various shelves of different shapes, sizes. Some of them are diagonal, which I thought was kind of interesting, like diagonal shelves. Maybe it's just to break up the monotony of just rectangularness. So I guess it's furniture, right? So I think if you treat it like that, it can be a work of art. Shelving can. So it's more than just, hey, I'm just going to throw some books up here. You
It can
know?
be.
You know, that's interesting that you're saying it like that because I think shelves we got down needs to be leveled and needs to be supported, and that's it. Where we still can't nail down what a chair is, and we participate in that furniture, whereas a shelf we don't participate in, but we're like, we got that one down.
I think a shelf that people sit on is called a bench, right? I think that's
That's a good point.
is that what benches are?
And
Butt-
guess,
butt
and guess
shelves.
what? It's hard. It's
butt
hard to
shelves?
screw up a butt shelf. I mean, it's
It is. That's true.
yeah, it needs to be level and support the weight.
So you said that we got shelves down. Shelves drive me crazy because they never fit like the books that I want to put on there. They don't like for like standard hardcover books, right? Which I think is about the biggest one, right, that you can get, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then you put them on there, and then there's either way too much space on the
Target made shelves
or
just for
like,
Nancy Drew
right.
novels.
But here's the problem: then you get D&D books, which are much bigger, or like coffee table books, and then they don't fit on the shelves anymore.
No, you're right.
Because I got 2 of these encyclopedias that were for a video game, and I was so excited to get them, and I had a space picked out on my shelf, and I went and it was like, don't. And I couldn't fit them in the shelf. And I was like, oh, great. Now they're just going to sit on top of there stacked up until I find someplace else for
I have
them,
some horizontal bookshelves.
Good. That's great.
I have
like
some
that
bookshelves where the books are laying there horizontally is what I was
I have
trying
bookshelves
to say.
that have books on them, and then the space between the book and the end of the shelf, I've put horizontal stacks of books in front of those because I have no place for. I need more shelving. That's the
Maybe
moral of the
less
story.
books is probably a better... Nope. More
Disagree.
shelves. Okay.
Disagree. I'll think about it, but disagree.
Actually, Ollie, I read somewhere, I don't know how true it is, but actually I heard it is better to lay books down horizontally than vertically because it keeps the binding intact.
That makes sense.
You know,
I don't know if it's so much the binding, but I have heard that you are supposed to reach behind the book and push and pull it forward. There needs to be
there's a
distance
knack
because
to
if
it.
because if you pull on the spine, that's when you get ripped spines. But if you push the book out and then take the book out, the spine will hold forever.
See, I was thinking with
Ooh,
hardcover
fancy.
books, what you were saying makes sense because they're not flush with the bottom of the binding,
Yeah.
so they kind of sit. So gravity would eventually kind of just force the book down.
Because I've seen
if
some
they're
books
all
like
like
that.
pushed up to the back
Yeah.
of the shelf and you can't get your hand back there.
But
Yeah.
really, the reading of the book is what's going to, like, however long it takes you to read it, just to
Who reads
continue
books?
opening and closing. Oh, so books are decorative.
No, I just collect them. I aspirationally buy books. No.
Actually, that's what people were saying too. They're like, in this day and age, it's more of an aesthetic versus people actually reading. We like the look of books on shelves.
That's true.
But I mean, think about it. With the boom of social media and also Zoom and stuff. Notice that most of the backdrops that people use shows off their
library.
Yeah, and it show. And who knows if they even read half of that? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you could say that they do.
I do attempt to read all the books that I
Some.
have.
You know,
I would
even an encyclopedia.
I wouldn't
you
go
could
into
fit.
people's houses,
Oh, I read
Sarah,
that,
and
for
be
sure.
like,
Oh.
"You read all these books."
cover to cover,
Yeah.
including the appendix
Yeah.
and the table of contents.
I think
Keep
I've
that
read,
one up in the old noodle.
I think I've read most of my books at least once.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have, it depends on the book. I have a hard time reading things twice through because, like, if it's a mystery, okay, I already know who the murderer was. Unless it's just a really good series that I like. But I think I've read everything at least once on my shelf.
You should.
That's
Yeah.
why that's why I have reference books. Like I have a lot of graphic design books, script writing books that I can, or joke writing books I can refer to. I don't necessarily read them like chapter and verse like you would, but it's a library I can actually, like, I'm trying to get some kind of resource and information. So
I want a library with a secret passageway where, like,
Yes.
you've got like 500 books and, like, you have to pick the one book that opens
Absolutely.
this
Yes.
like catacombs of it. That's what I want.
well, when Alan was talking about how you have to pick it, and I was like, oh, okay, so that way when you tilt it, and then the shelf turns, and you go into a portal, right? And then
Or
the
a panic room.
Well, I was trying to be more enchanting.
Or a secret second library.
Yes.
where you pull out another book and another passage open.
It's libraryception.
Where no matter how far you go, it's just 5,000 books.
That's
It's a
right.
book tunnel. So I don't know. Actually, I would love to go to some of those old mansions because I'm sure a lot of those might still have some of those like secret passageways. You know, where the apothecary is, or the laboratory or something like that.
Seance room.
Sent on a grand adventure.
See, and all because we talked about shelves.
That's right.
See, the shelves can be an entryway. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's the whole thing. Like, if you read a book, you get to have it in the front. You know, I know some people don't like to arrange it by color or by size or whatever. So, I mean, I know what
We should
libraries.
arrange them by author.
Oh, by author.
Yeah,
yes,
that way-
thank you.
yeah.
Yes.
But no, but I mean, I've seen people, they do it by
Those
color.
are those
They're like,
old ones, like in England or something, where
You
they
were
do
talking about people on like TikTok or YouTube that have books behind them, and my
Oh,
wife
yeah.
watches some of like the BookTube videos or whatever it is, and there is an absolutely insane trend of people putting books on their shelves with a page side turned out,
that. What?
not the spine.
what?
Yeah. And I'm just like, you're stupid, and I don't like you.
Yeah.
But that's
just
more
so
of a
odd.
joke, right? Because I've seen people do that.
It's like aesthetics. It's like for an aesthetic. It's like
Okay.
having all the pages.
Is it-
Sometimes the
is
pages
it-
are colored, but sometimes they're not.
That's weird.
Is it a way to
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking.
kind
yeah.
of low fidelity blur out a possibly controversial?
No, I don't know. It's not because they do it with
Okay.
like the whole shelf to make it like
Okay.
looking like an aesthetic of like,
Yeah.
oh, here are the pages, and like I get taking off the dust jacket if you
Because
want to. I don't,
I have a
but
book
I get
that's,
it. But
that's written by it's about Dietrich Bonhoeffer, and it's called The Cup of Wrath, but it's got a swastika on the cover and on the spine, and
spine.
I'm like, I can't just be walking through
yeah, no, I get that.
the airport
Yeah.
with this.
You want
No,
that?
guys,
Yeah.
see?
Rise and
See?
Fall of the Third Reich. You
Yeah.
got to turn around.
Yeah.
Lolita, you probably want
That's
to turn
right.
around.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm not that person.
I've seen those prank videos though, where someone's in Barnes and Noble, and which is annoying to the workers, they'll take like a whole row or shelf full of books and flip them around.
Oh, that's not
and then it's
cool.
just like, hey, I'm at the Barnes and Noble on 29th and Rock or whatever, and then all of the shelves have the books.
I said,
facing
don't
the
let me
wrong
ever
way.
see that because I will come down and I will force you to turn them all back around. That's just
Yeah.
mean.
No, it is
Oh
me.
man.
Really quick, Sarah, you were talking about the like those old bookshelves. I was looking
Yeah.
at my old pictures from Ireland at Trinity College. They have that big library.
Oh, yes.
The most common picture that you've probably seen is this
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
big
yeah.
archway.
Uh-huh.
But we were there. But these are some of the bookshelves, which
And
I
like
cool.
I
they gotta
think.
all be like first editions.
Well, I think those are the ones that they arranged by size. If I
Yeah.
remember, I have to look it up.
'Cause
But
those
yeah.
books are like hundreds of years old. That's the other thing too. Like
I always think when you look at places like that, or you go to like antique shops, right, and you have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
how many books there are in the world that like nobody's ever really read. I
Yeah.
mean, think of like all like because you can think of all like the classic titles, right, like a Moby Dick or a Dracula or a Pride and Prejudice or whatever. But people, you
Or
find books
Kylo Goes to School.
exactly.
a classic.
But you find like all those old books at like antique shops and stuff with like names you've never heard of, and it's just like how many people really ever read this, or was it like a printing of like 50 copies and then they just get passed around from like
those are the most
estate
valuable
sales and
sometimes.
stuff for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it depends on how if they're considered rare versus just like kitschy or unusual or
I think,
something like that.
Books are very rare, but one of the most rarest things are the pamphlets. Just going back to the advent of the printing press and something like that, where
Johann
you-
Gutenberg.
Yeah, where you could get a pamphlet, a magazine, or something like that, a newsletter printed, but it wasn't protected in binding or
Right.
anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
See, I like stuff like that. The
So does Nick
historical
Cage,
aspect.
and that's how he found the
See, I
hidden
was-
city
that's
of
what I
gold.
was
That's right.
thinking of.
It all comes down to this.
Yeah.
So when we do our double stuff the movie, that'll be our premise where we're just
Find
a
the
bookstore.
lost city of
First, you need
gold.
to meet Nicolas Cage at Dillon's
Yes, yes.
and help him find that box of cereal he wants, and then he can fund our movie.
Yeah, who would have thought it's the box of kicks all along? The literature, the cereal,
No,
it
we
all
can
makes sense.
also steal the Declaration of Independence too,
That's
if,
Yeah.
if we have time.
It is behind the cereal box.
It's the all-seeing eye on the back of the puzzle on the tricks box.
Yeah.
No, it's next to the box tops. You get the
There
cut.
you go.
It has a clue.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, we did it. We talked about Kleenex and shelves, two very random nouns that don't go together at all, and somehow we actually made it.
Smash that like button.
So if you want to tell us where you keep your Kleenex,
No.
Yeah. So, guys, just listen to the rest of our episodes. We're starting a whole new season, so you get to start with that. We got 14 other seasons that you can listen to, so just go to doublestuffpod.com and just binge listen to all of them. You can also check us out on our YouTube channel at Double Stuff Podcast, and of course on Facebook, Instagram at Double Stuff Podcast, and on Twitter at Double Stuff P, and that's the letter P.